Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about the internal struggles that someone who is narcissistic will have. People ask me all the time, how did this person even develop this personality disorder? Like, what happened to them? What's the trauma? What are the experiences that they went through? What happened in childhood that contributed to someone having NPD? Let me just start off by saying that not every person that experiences these things that I'm going to talk about today ends up having narcissistic personality disorder. You could have two siblings, two children in the same household with the same experiences, and one can become narcissistic and one doesn't have to be. So not every person that goes through these experiences will come out on the other side someone with NPD. Pretty much all narcissists have one thing in common. They had childhood neglect. Childhood emotional neglect is where their needs weren't met. This lack of emotional nurturing is something that was definitely missing in their upbringing. And what ends up happening is, as adults, they desperately need the validation and the attention, which of course fuels their narcissistic tendencies. Now, when we talk about emotional neglect, we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to look at the caretaker of this person. Did they ignore the child growing up? Were they dismissive of the child's emotions? Did they lack the ability to validate the child's feelings or give them a space to be able to feel their feelings at all? When a caretaker is emotionally unavailable in many of these ways, it leads to the child not learning how to take care of their own emotions. They don't know how to take care of themselves because they're not getting a model or an example of someone doing it for them as they're growing up. Again, that really fuels that need for validation, attention, make me feel like I'm enough, all of those things. And as I go through this, you're going to see similarities between this and codependency. Inconsistency in behavior, whereas maybe sometimes you praise me for my achievements, maybe sometimes you didn't. Maybe sometimes you withheld your love to me, and maybe sometimes you smothered me. So this inconsistency is not something that helps the child growing up because they just live in this up and down emotional roller coaster ride. Chances are they either got one or the other. They got a parent who was really almost too involved or put the child on a pedestal that is very unhealthy, enabled the child, or there was severe neglect that was happening. Pretty much all narcissists will experience abandonment and rejection. Abandonment could be emotional abandonment, which is kind of like what we just talked about, levels of emotional neglect, or they can just experience rejection in general. When you're constantly treated like you're unwanted, you're ignored, whether it is emotionally or physically, that is definitely going to lead to low self-esteem. You're not feeling loved, you're not feeling accepted, you're not feeling seen and heard. When that happens from a very young age, that consistent behavior that you're receiving from the people that are supposed to love you unconditionally and be there for you, that just puts a void inside this person. It contributes to low self-esteem, which is really at the root of all narcissism. It's really that fragile low self-esteem, that fragile ego that makes this person crave that narcissistic supply, that craves that attention because they can't produce that on their own. They need outside approval, make me feel like I'm enough. They have to play a character because they don't know who they are. Because to know who you are and to have a really strong sense of self, that's something that's nurtured. That's something that you practice. That's something that was accepted in your family growing up, is that you had a voice. And having someone be there for you emotionally and physically. And now here's the thing. I just want to keep stressing this, that just because you experience abandonment doesn't mean that you can become someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. There's just something that happens within this person where kind of like the light switch goes off and they just almost kill off their real sense of self, where now they're just playing a character because they don't feel worthy enough to be who they are. They don't trust people that this person actually would love them or be there for them. And this is oftentimes where they start sabotaging relationships. This is when, and I talk to you guys all the time about this, I'm on the phone with clients constantly talking about, I don't understand. They had everything. Why did they ruin this relationship? Why did they do this? Why are they just like having affairs or cheating or lying or behaving in this way? Like, why can't they just get it together? Really, it has to do with that wound. It has to do with that low self-esteem. And now here's the thing, because people ask me all the time as well, What if this person changes? What if this person heals? The amount of work that you have to do, well, first off, any work that you do in order to be able to heal from all of this stuff, because look, we all have stuff. We all have been emotionally neglected. We all didn't get everything that we needed. We all experience abandonment in some form or another. How severe we experienced it really doesn't matter, because some people experience real severe trauma and they're not narcissistic. And then there's people that you look at their situation and you're like, how are you coming out of this as someone with NPD? My point is that it takes a lot of work. So think about all the work you're doing, all the courses you're doing, all the coaching you're doing, all the videos you're watching, just to learn about yourself and how to heal yourself. The one thing that you all have in common that someone who's narcissistic will not have is you are taking responsibility. You are saying that, yes, regardless of the fact that this was done to me and it's something that I'm carrying around with me, I'm carrying around with me. And I'm not going to play a victim. I'm going to figure out how to heal, how to work on myself, how to love myself, how to take responsibility for all of these things that's ruining my life, that's not helping me. If that doesn't happen, then no change can ever happen. So that accountability and responsibility has to be there. If it's not there, nothing is going to happen after that. Now, here's the thing. There are plenty of people that will say, I know I'm this way and I don't want to be this way and I want to change. Okay, great. Maybe that some people do have those epiphanies, but now you have to be consistent. Now you actually have to do the work. So it's either I'm not going to take responsibility, I'm not going to say that this is my fault and I need to change something. I don't want to do any of that. Or quite frankly, I don't even see a problem, and you do, but I don't. So there's that piece, but then there's the accountability piece of like, I need to be accountable for myself. I need to hold myself to a standard. I need to work on this. I need to heal this. I need to do this stuff every single day. If that's not happening, then no change is ever going to really happen within this person. Growing up in emotionally abusive households, and when I say emotional abuse, I'm not talking about parents that were alcoholics, that were raging, that were yelling, that were throwing things. I'm not talking about you being put up for adoption. I'm not talking about dad leaving. I'm not talking about mom just piecing out completely and you never even saw her or knew who she was. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the subtle tactics that most people don't even realize that were in the dynamics of their family that contributed greatly to their wounds. Verbal insults, humiliation, manipulation, gaslighting, the silent treatment, being passive aggressive, ignoring or dismissing your feelings, trying to control you, all of these different things. Most of these things, if not all of them, are things that we do not learn about growing up. You are not able to really spot these things unless you had healthy parents, unless people made it a point to teach you that, no, you can't do that, or no, this sounds like this, or you're not allowed to be passive aggressive. We don't do the silent treatment when we're unhappy and we don't get what we want. So unless you were raised in environments where you really learned these things, unfortunately, you don't learn them until you just hit a significant amount of pain. And then you don't even really realize just how badly you have been programmed and wounded in your childhood that contributes to a lot of your problems today. Now, these dysfunctional family dynamics of either codependency or really harsh narcissism in families, or this unhealthy enmeshment in families. I see this very often, and it has nothing to do with, oh, I'm Italian, or oh, I'm Portuguese, or oh, this, or I grew up in these households and we're big and loud and everyone is in each other's lives. Not every family is like that, depending on where you are in the world and what environments you grew up in. But there are some families that have very dysfunctional dynamics, where there are no boundaries, where there is no respect. Again, if those are things that you've witnessed, that you've experienced, that's going to contribute very heavily to how you view relationships. When you have that level of enmeshment and it's very unhealthy, very toxic, almost like a clan type of situation going on in your family, then there's no individuality, there's no feelings, there's no I think this. That doesn't really exist there. So there are no boundaries. There is no respect for, like I said, individuality. And when that happens, you just become enmeshed in everyone else's stuff and you don't really have an identity or know who you are. So now think about all of that. And again, you don't have to experience every little thing, but chances are someone who has MPD did experience most of those things, most of those different categories. How severe they experienced it, who knows? It doesn't really matter. It's completely irrelevant. What is relevant is that they did experience it, and it has now contributed to a personality disorder. Their insecurities will always drive their need to feel seen, to be heard, to have people like them. But then again, because of that low self-esteem, I don't want you to get too close with me. I fear intimacy, I fear vulnerability. And so they will either shut relationships out, meaning they'll sabotage them, or they'll just have surface level relationships. And this is usually where you start to kind of examine this person and realize that this person was never, ever going to be able to be the person that you wanted them to be, to go deep, to have that level of intimacy that you're really actually craving. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're a deep person. You want connection. You want your best friend. You want... And I'm not even just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about if you're watching this and this topic pertains to your sister, your mother, your father, your friend, or whatever, you're looking for connection. And this is usually where we have to just accept that the person's not capable. So I hope this video has helped you understand really what's the root cause here, what happened to this person that contributed to this really toxic and unhealthy behavior. So I hope it gave you some clarity and some insight on this topic. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And please also click on post notifications so you guys can be informed every week when I do upload new videos, new shorts, new content to help you not only heal, but thrive in your next chapter of your life.